Hi, Cancer. Happy birthday. Welcome to your general 2019 July reading. I'm Jade with Yes, Yes, Yes. Welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. First, let me just give some gratitude for all of the likes and the shares and the subscribes. I'm really, really happy to be here doing this with you. I've had a busy summer so far, so I'm going to try to unload as many videos as I can, but I'm doing a little less this summer, so I'm trying to get as much as I can out there. So hopefully you're happy with this one. This is the general, and we are going to start with your overall theme for the whole year, what came up for you from your yearly reading for the month, and that link to that yearly read is in the box below. And then I think I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread with the Rider Waite. Haven't done a Celtic cross for you all yet, I don't think. So we'll go with that. So the first card is for your overall for this year, the upper world. This is a year for you, Cancer, to be developing your intuition, connecting to your higher self, working with your ancestors, things that are above and beyond us, things that we are trying to elevate ourselves towards, and you are deeply connecting to that. There also might be a call for you with large birds this year. You might have found that when you see a large bird, something magical occurs, comes to your mind. Maybe you have a little inspirational moment. So keep your eyes out for larger birds like hawks, eagles, owls. Parrots can be big too. Sure, bats. Why not bats? I wouldn't count them as birds, but yeah. So that's your overall theme for this year. I think that it's developing quite well for you, and especially because there's so many astrological aspects. This month we have a new moon, and it is a solar eclipse in your sign. So this is the time to make great wishes, and I love that you have this star card here for you this month. So you have wishes that you can work towards, intentions that you can set that will manifest not only in 1 month, but then look at where you'll be in 6 months, because it's got the power of the eclipse. Because the moon and the lunar line is on. It's within your astrological constellation and Capricorn. So we're moving between Cancer and Capricorn for the eclipses for the next year and a half. So this month you have the star card. You might have some connection to an Aquarian, but this is also the same. It's actually quite similar energy. I see these two. This is the elevated self, the one who wants to take us to the next level. So the star card is, those manifestations that you're really pulling those things forward in your life, or even just making a clearer plan to manifest. So you might actually be writing things down. And then we have the moon, okay? So there's lots of, you're ruled by the moon. This is the Lenormand deck, so it's a little different than the technical tarot deck. I look at this as a timing card. So we're looking at what's going on this month, okay? This lunar cycle. Lots of blue. I love this for you, Cancer. So you seem to be really in your power right now. I hope that you feel that way. A lot of people are feeling the emotions that that are natural for you. So I feel that you are going to be leading the rest of us this month, because we're kind of in the cycle that is normal for you, because we're all going to be affected by this new moon and the full moon that comes later. We're going to be affected by the lunar and the solar eclipses that happen. So just keep moving clearly towards whatever your goals or desires or wishes are in life, and know that you are being supported. You are operating from your highest guidance, okay? Those things are coming for you this month in particular. You might be feeling very connected to your intuition. You might be getting those hits even more clearly. And again, look for large birds. My aunt used to have large birds like parrots, and I think it was a cockatoo. Anyway, she had large birds in her house, so I'm kind of used to large birds, and they literally talked, right? So, so the birds can literally tell you something. There's also bird tribe people, so people who are who feel connected to birds may show up and give you some interesting advice, or that might be you, Cancer. Okay, so we're looking now to start. I'm going to lay out the Celtic cross. Let me see this. I'm feeling like this card just wants to pop, so I'll let it happen. Yeah, I'm gonna lay out the Celtic cross for you. Everything's been pre-shuffled, and find that center point. Actually, I'm gonna pull them differently this time. Why not? Okay. So I'm gonna pull the 8 cards. Just give me a moment. Feel free to send me the energy that you're feeling in this moment too, as I pick for you. Oh. No, that's the way it goes. And it's interesting to me because my hands get a weight to them when it's the place for me to stop. So I wave my hand around, and then when it gets heavy, it just draws down, and it's always the same finger. Okay, 1, 2, 3, that's the 3. It's always the same finger for me. So I don't know if you guys work with cards or not. We all have our way of choosing, and sometimes we choose in different ways. You know, you can kind of play with that. All right, so I'm going to start with the first card that was chosen. And we'll go with this. The 3 of Wands came out in the reverse. That's what it wanted to show itself. So right now we're in a place of contemplation. Not, I mean, again, I think this is the same energy where you're wanting to make future plans, but we're just in the place of actually doing that planning, okay? Not moving, not taking the action, but making the planning for the future, okay? So for waiting for it to come in, but what do we have to do before we wait for it is we have to plan for it, okay? So let's see what is in your overall energy. Aha, more of you. The moon, okay. So this is the Piscean card, but I also see it very connected to you because you're ruled by the moon. So what's happening for you, and this is major arcana, so this is something major going on for you. We've seen it show itself in different ways, Cancer, but we want to make sure that we're seeing things, looking at things clearly, that there's nothing that is going to pull the wool over your eyes, that, you know, we're breaking out of roles that we've been playing. We're breaking out of the norm, right? So if you feel like you're complacent, if you feel like everything's just, you know, the same routine, we have to break that. And so I think that's what's going on, at least in this card for you. And what I'm feeling here is that we're trying to break out of any type of secrecy, any type of normalcy, really embracing the emotions that are coming up so that we can make a deep change, okay? That's what our moon is there. It's also a card of intuition, and again, we've had those things come up as well. So lots of intuitive hits that are coming forward. Let's see what's crossing it. The 5 of Cups. So if you're not feeling comfortable, if you're not feeling inspired, you know, you might be feeling kind of down and removed and sad. There might have been something that had happened to you that that's causing you to question your intuition, that's causing you to question where you are, where your strength is this month even. Perhaps you're looking at your life thinking that you were supposed to be in a different place. You were hoping that you would have developed in a different way. So again, this is crying or not feeling good about, you know, what is, and also failing to look at what could be, right? That's what this card is about. So in feeling into your intuition, don't doubt yourself. Know that everything happens for a reason, right? We say this, and we're always searching for the truth and the beauty in what happens, right? So no matter what painful circumstance comes about, we're looking for the blessing in it. And that is the way to cut through the suffering. It doesn't mean that there's no reason to feel the pain or there's no growth in the suffering. I just want to make sure that you know that to put an end to it, to move on from this energy, is to look for the perfection, the beauty, the next possibility that comes from whatever sadness has occurred, whatever has caused you to doubt your personal strength, your guidance system, okay? So let's see what the foundation is. We've got the King of Cups. The King of Cups in the reverse, it could have been a water sign, so we're talking Cancer like you, Pisces or Scorpio. The other thing is that this could be your energy here, okay? Now, normally the King is, I associate the King in the Piscean energy, but with this being in the reverse, this is telling me that the foundation is that you're just not feeling in your strength. You're not feeling in the truth of all that you have to bring to the world. You might be doubting your ability. It feels to me, Cancer, that you're going through some type of deep transition where it could be at work, it could be in relationship, it could be in family, something along those lines, where you know that you need to make a big change and you're doubting that you're able to do so. You're doubting that you have the willpower, that you have the strength, that you have the talent to do so. And so that is the reason why this is, this is all here. The truth is that you are in your power. It's just that you are doubting it because the situation has shown up a little differently than what was expected. Now let's see, the recent past is Two of Pentacles came out in the reverse. This is a card of juggling, of dancing, of trying to do too much. Someone perhaps trying to do too much, balancing too many things, more than what's necessary. One pentacle's enough. Two, it becomes more of a, and look, he's a jester, right? So it becomes more of a joke. So in the past, this could have been your energy, and this could be money related or work related, talent related, or security or health even, is that in the past there was a juggling of too many things, trying to do too many things. Perhaps this is like when people tell me that, oh, I'm an artist and a writer and an actress and a performance artist and a trombone player and a ballet dancer and I'm studying flamenco, and so there has all these ands. And sorry, I just went on and on. So this is a person who has so much identity, right, that they're working with. There's so many different roles that they're putting on that it's too many to balance, right? So I feel like, Cancer, we're trying to cut it back and go back to simplicity and what is your highest guidance, right? Go back to that upper world. Where is your highest guidance this month? Getting back to the truth of who you are and not balancing so very much. You don't have to split yourself up into multiple personalities to solve any problems or to make anyone happy, okay? You are perfect as you are. And you can work on yourself one talent at a time. But what we're really doing is we're honing skills here. And this is from the near past. So I feel like that's what's kind of thrown you off of your foundation, is doing too much. Now in the present, we've got the Four of Swords. It came out in the reverse. So this is good because you might have already had your reflection time in between these two cards. And now you're coming out of that rest. And this is good because it's your birthday time. So it's okay to come out in the world. Come out, Cancer. You don't need to reflect anymore. I feel like this is your biting your tongue, really trying to plan. I know that Cancers, I have a dear sister who's a Cancer who plans things. She makes major 90-degree, what would that be? 180-degree turns in silence. So she'll go, you won't hear from her for like a month. She'll come back out and she'll say, you know what? I'm gonna go travel around the world for a while. See you later. totally out of the blue, right? So I'm feeling like Cancer, you're about to make some major changes. You're coming out and telling the world what major change, you know, maybe you've chosen finally not having to do too much in the past, or excuse me, trying to do too much in the past. And now you've made your choice about what you really want to do coming up in the near future. So, was I showing cards? I feel like I was being a bad poker player. Here we are. Look at this. 4 of Wands in the future. I like this for you, near future. Now, we talk about this card being the marriage card. There's the 1111, so it's a divine portal. But let's break it down to what it really is. The Wands are a suit of action and of passion, and the doing, right? When you have the fours are strong, stable foundation. This is building a new future for yourself, okay? And I like that you've gone from the 4 of Swords, the thinking, the communication, the internalization, to the doing. Makes perfect sense. You may have a partnership that is with you. So this is, you know, you may decide to move across the country or whatever, but your partner's going to come with you. The other thing here is that it's not, I mean, even though there's 2 people in the card, it could mean partnership, but it's also that you are making firm choices for yourself for your future. You're laying a good foundation, okay? And it's very action oriented. You're doing finally, rather than thinking about doing, rather than playing at different games. I like that your power is turning up right here, okay? Now, I'm going to pull out these 2 other cards. I want to see what's going on for hopes and dreams, and then final outcome, and then let me see if there's going to be any more clarifiers. So here's your hopes and fears. Hopes and dreams, I might have said that, but hopes and fears is the 10 of Swords. So I think that you're doubting yourself in a little bit here, right? This makes sense. If this is your fear, this would be the utmost ending of it all, right? So if you're going to take a huge jump forward, let's say that you're trying to do a new career path, okay? This of course would make sense that everything's going to fall down. It's, you know, there's going to be some pain, there's going to be some grief. You might actually be moving from a relationship to make a new relationship, and you know that there's potential for grief or some pain involved in that growing process, but it doesn't have to be about relationship. This is just that this is the change, right? And change can be difficult. So, and we'll talk about it as the hope even, is that the hope is that, again, we're at the 10, that the pain ends. So if there is any pain that is reminiscent, is that the right word I want to use? Reverberating, let's say that's from this past, that you're really hoping that it will end, okay? And likewise, if that's a fear, it's okay that that fear is there. Just know that the 10 shows us that it is the end of a cycle, that things can turn. We move to this blue sky in the background, right? So even though it's the dramatic ending, there's something new coming forward, because it can't get any worse than what it has been, or whatever your fears are telling you that it is. And then your final outcome, we've got the 5 of Pentacles in the upright. So there is a feeling that you may be doing this on your own, even though this is that marriage card that's here, that 4 of Wands, and it's potentially with someone. You may be feeling that you're doing things, kind of breaking out all on your own here. And also, let me just break this down. This could just mean that it's not going to turn out financially well for you initially, okay? We'll see how things continue, but because again, the Pentacles are a financial suit, they're also about health and well-being, that type of thing. You might have tried to have done so much in the past, and you might have some debts coming up in the future. So just keep that in mind. So if this is a new job that you're trying to build, even though it's stable, it may just take some time to develop, so that you're actually bringing in the financial security that backs this 4 of Wands up. And let's see, what was the other thing? So if it is a relationship, let's just work this out a little bit. So if it's a relationship that you're building in the near future, and you know you've got some fear, you want to put away this grief and this sorrow, you might be doing it kind of on your own, okay? So keep in mind that if this is a relationship issue that's coming up, you may have to work together. So you can bond through adversity, okay? So keep that in mind. If you and your partner are struggling together, then there's a bond there. The other thing though is that it can alienate you from your partner in the near future, and the alienation could be that if you're just worried and you're keeping this energy in your present, right? In your overall, like if you're fearful, if you're grieving, if you're feeling that loss, then what that's going to do is continue to alienate you from others and your partner if you do have one. Okay. Now again, keep in mind this is a general, so it's not everything's going to apply, but the things that do, use them. And remember, I feel like the near future is always up for change. And I'm curious. I want to ask a few questions just before I let you all go. I do have a couple of other readings that are going to come out for you this month. So this, everything can get changed for you. So you can change everything. I'm curious about this in the near future, this Four of Wands. Let's see. Okay, so we are talking about some kind of new financial, and this could be a new job, right? Something that's a new opportunity that is financial or health oriented or physical safety, security oriented, okay? So that is what we're talking about. Knight of Wands. It could have to do with a fire sign. So that's Leo, Sag, and Aries. The other thing is that this is energy moving in. So this whole thing could kind of happen quickly, and it could be swooning you, right? It could sound like it's the perfect job opportunity. It could sound like it's, everything that you ever wanted, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's actually quite beautiful, even though these other cards are out here in the far future, or the overall. This near future that's coming in for you, which is the promise of new money or great energy that is moving you forward. That's great to look forward to, especially because you've been turning everything else around. Now let's get a little bit more clarity on what these kind of suffering energies are in the overall outcome. I want to understand that, or how can we change it? Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, High Priestess and the Emperor. All right, so Aries energy came back up, so you really might be dealing with an Aries. This could be your boss, right? So your boss could be the one who you're isolating yourself from or feeling left out of. Maybe you have a partnership with this type of person who really should be working on their own, or maybe it's you who should really be working on your own. The High Priestess energy is here, more intuition. So really trust your instincts here, Cancer. Really feel through. If this is a partnership that's coming up, let's see if at the bottom of the deck we've got Six of Cups that came out in the reverse. So it's something that could be that had been talked about for some time, that's finally coming into fruition. This isolation could be, again, with an Aries. Sometimes a Taurus is involved in that as well. But really tune into your intuition. That's where your power is going to come from. And I feel like if there's any type of separation that's happening, it's because there's two energies happening here between these two cards. The High Priestess is a receiving energy. This is a person who is inspired and then makes action based on higher principle. The Emperor energy is someone who is controlling and who makes choices based on ego and desire. So more of those kind of fiery elements, those earthly elements as well, base needs. So you've got something that's higher and something that's lower energy here. So this is the two energies that are battling themselves here in the future. Could be you and another person. But it could just mean that if we're talking about a work situation, that this is dealing with a boss who's kind of cutting you out, or that you need to cut yourself out of this relationship, redo it so that it works well, because there is great promise here for you, Cancer. Okay, so that's what I have for you. We're just building, right? Remember, that card came out. It came out in the reverse. So you're making your wishes. This is your time to make your wish for exactly what you want. I feel like it's this, right? So let's keep your focus on what you really wish for. The Four of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and that Knight of Wands, and see how everything kind of reveals itself for you this month. And yes, so Cancer, I'll send you all my love. I'll see you guys next time.